Fit to Love is physical, emotional, and spiritual fitness to achieve the happy life you deserve. From exercise to cooking, relationships, and spirituality, you'll find all the inspiration you need right here with our host, JJ Flizanes.
Hello and welcome to Fit to Love Tasty Tuesdays, all about cooking, all about nutrition, and all about you. If there's something you'd like to see on the show, we'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email at info@invisiblefitness.com. Enjoy the show. Today's show, a pumpkin pie breakfast shake with high in protein, of course. So we're going to start off with the cup size. So if you're making an individual for yourself, this one's probably fine. If you're making for more than one person, for two or more, well, two people would probably be this size. And for more, obviously you're going to use a bigger blender. So for today we're going to use this. So first let's talk about why you want to have protein in the morning. So when you wake up in the morning, your body's like your car, and if there's no gas in it, then there's nothing really to fuel you, which is why I know most people go to coffee. But again, the problem with coffee, even if you're using bulletproof coffee, is that there's nothing really complex in your system that the body can take time to break down and slowly give you energy and increase your blood sugar over time. So we want to make sure that protein is a part of your morning. If you have something high in sugar that breaks down into a simple carbohydrate and then converts into sugar in your body, you're going to have a little bit of an insulin spike, and then you're going to have a crash, and then you're going to be hungry 2 hours later. So I'm not a fan of recommending things like cereal or really high sugary, high carbohydrate breakfasts. You want to have some protein to make sure there's enough in your stomach that it has some work to do to slowly break down your food and give you energy slowly for the next 4 to 6 hours. So the protein powder I'm going to recommend is Sun Warrior Raw Vegan Protein. So because I'm dairy free, I'm not going to have whey protein. Soy, which we'll talk about on another show, is something I absolutely do not recommend. Don't have soy, and for reasons we'll talk about later. And what other protein powders are out there? Now there's egg white protein, there's rice protein. Actually, part of this is rice and pea. Now, why raw? Why do I recommend this over other protein powders? Because it's raw. And why is that important? Because when something is raw, it has all of its enzymes that you need to digest it and utilize it properly. When we cook things down, we remove those enzymes, and our body, it works a little harder to break down and process what's in that food for us. Not to mention you get all the wonderful nutrients because we haven't killed them with heat. Because we don't want to put the protein powder in the empty jar, in the empty glass without some liquid, because it'll stick to the glass. So I'm going to recommend that we start with water. We're going to put a little bit of water in. And then for this size of a cup, I'm going to add 3 scoops of protein. For this protein powder, for each scoop, it's 16 grams of protein. Okay, we have our 3 scoops of protein. If this was an individual shake just for one person, I would only add half a banana. It adds a little bit of sweetness, it adds a little bit of thickness, and it makes it a little more smooth. But because this is for more than one person, I'm going to add in the whole banana. Next, we're going to add the pumpkin, and I'm using organic pumpkin from Trader Joe's. It came out on the shelves the other day, and I literally have a cabinet stocked with it now. I love making my own pumpkin. It's a lot of work, but it's very gratifying to make your own pumpkin pies from the pumpkins you grew in your yard or that you bought. But this does make it simple. So if you love pumpkin, I would recommend stocking up on the organic pumpkin so that you have it throughout the year in case you want to use it. So I'm going to use 3 heaping tablespoons of organic pumpkin. Next, I'm going to use roasted flax seeds. So I get these at Trader Joe's, and you can use regular flax meal, and that would be great. And because it's toasted, again, it probably did kill off a little bit of the enzymes, but it has a very crust-like flavor, which is why I'm using it. So you're still going to get some of the protein, you're still going to get some of the really good quality fats, you're going to get the fiber, you may not get all the enzymes from it, but then you're going to get that sort of pumpkin pie crust flavor. And I'm going to add 2 heaping teaspoons or tablespoons of ground. Actually, it comes whole, and then I use a coffee grinder. I have 2 coffee grinders. I don't use the coffee grinder I grind for coffee to do this. I have a separate coffee grinder that I only use for things like chia seeds and flax seeds. So I'm gonna take my scoop that's in here, which is about a tablespoon, and I'm gonna add 2 or 3. And remember, these are just suggestions. Absolutely, once you blend this up and you taste it, if you want more of something, then add it and spice it to taste. Next, I'm gonna add the pumpkin pie spice, and I'm gonna add 1 heaping teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. So what you could do to this shake to make it even a little bit more healthier and add some antioxidants to it is you have any kind of greens powder or berry powder. As long as the flavor is not too strong that it distracts you from the pumpkin pie flavor, you can actually add a lot more things just to make it a little bit healthier. But just as a base, we're gonna start with this. Next, I'm gonna add more water and fill this up. Again, secure your lid, make sure you fasten it well. We don't want to create a mess and have things spill everywhere. So now we have our pumpkin pie breakfast shake, protein shake. And if you're using something like a bullet or a NutriBullet, you can just get a top with it. You can set the top on and you can take it with you in your car while you're driving to work. You can take it with you to work and have it while you're at work or at your desk. If you're staying at home, pour it into a glass, maybe try a little bit of it now and have a little bit later, and you can stick it in the refrigerator while you're waiting.
The Fit to Love podcast show offers you 6 days a week of helpful content to achieve the happy life you deserve. Movement Mondays and Tasty Tuesdays are weekly videocasts, while Wellness Wednesdays, Thoughtful Thursdays, Freedom Fridays, and Sexy Saturdays are audio-only shows themed every week to address your holistic life and needs. If the show inspired you, we would love for you to share it and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Head on over to fittolove.tv for recaps of every show, resources, and to join the community. That's FIT, the number 2, LOVE.tv. Have a fit and fabulous day.